That is a hot intro. That's an original song?
I did it.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a poem that goes with it. I just haven't sent it to him yet. Yeah.
This is nice.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone out there in Instagram land and Facebookers. You are listening to the Intimacy Chronicles live on Mix Station Radio. We do have a call-in number tonight. You can call in at 855-493-6499. Tonight, my guest is Miss Tamala Baldwin. She has a TV series called Bubbly Brown Sugar. So I can't wait to dive into that. The interesting thing about Tamala, she is definitely multi-talented. Actress, singer, dancer. So and college professor, might I add. So she does it all. And so I reached out to her on Instagram. The beautiful thing about Instagram, you meet so many people and you exchange information. You just start talking and you realize you have so much in common. So I invited her to the show and she was willing. And so the rest is history. Well, I can't tell you.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. And introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is LaVarro.
That's it?
That's it. That's who I am. That's the whole thing.
All right. All right. So we're going to get this show started.
Wait a second. Okay.
Is he trying to be was he shy, right?
No, I mean, I don't know. What am I saying? Do I say?
What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
My name is LaVarro. I was a director on Bubbly Brown Sugar.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what part.
Get into it. We don't have any censorship, so
got it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. You know, I like to get naked up in here.
Me too, boo. Me too.
So I know it's gonna be a live show, but so I want to hear about Bubbly Brown Sugar and where can people listen to the show.
Well, we just wrapped Bubbly Brown Sugar in November, was it?
Mm-hmm.
So the show isn't going to be out until ideally May.
Okay.
And it'll be available online. Right now, we're still searching for distribution and discovering what that platform will be.
Okay.
But it'll be available online. But visit bubblybrownssugar.com.
Okay.
Just to make sure it'll be there no matter what.
All updates at bubblybrownssugar.com.
Okay. We got a caller already.
Oh, snap.
All right.
Oh, snap.
Who we got?
Yeah, to the Jackie Ballard.
Do not, I repeat, do not use my government name. Okay? That's gotta be a friend of mine that uses my government name. So tonight we're talking about intimacy. So give me your views on intimacy. I think that's probably Deacon Jones over there.
You can't use my government name on the radio station.
Well, see, that's why I didn't. I said Deacon Jones.
Everybody call me Deacon.
Oh, well, that's too late. The cat's out the bag. So what does intimacy mean to you?
I don't know the sentence you're talking about.
Intimacy in your relationship. Don't get shy now. Come on, Deacon. You're listening now.
Hey, you made the call, Deacon.
I don't know how to class with intimacy.
You said what?
You know, I'm gonna call back and me give you that word. I don't want to be the R. Kelly.
Well, let me ask you a question. For you, is intimacy more physical or is it more than the physical for you?
It's less physical.
Okay. And for you, you say it's less physical. So would you say, I don't want to put words into your mouth, would you say for you it's more of a mental connection?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all have a good show going on.
Thanks, Deacon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Deacon.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
That
you.
was right.
All right.
That was the deacon?
That was the deacon.
Okay.
All right. The good deacon, might I
Oh, the
add.
good deacon? Not Deacon Dixon down.
So, Deacon
Who you
Dix.
waving at?
Dixon down.
He's starting already. So joining us a little later was the Quiet Storm.
Hello, folks. How are you? How are you? Good evening. Happy New Year.
So for you, what does intimacy mean to you?
Well, I'm going to piggyback on what the deacon was saying. I think intimacy is of course, it's the physical, but it's also the mental connection too, where you could connect with somebody on a mental level, and then the physical could kind of be like the icing on the cake.
And I'm going to have to agree with you. I think a lot of times when we're in relationships, I'm going to say more is focused on the physical, because I think that some people don't know how to make that connection, make it an all-around connection, like mental and physical, because they're so focused on the physical side. So
Like cuddling and spooning.
Yeah, all of that, even something as simple as laying in bed, reading a book to each other, or just watching TV together, holding hands. You have to solidify that connection with your partner.
And you know what? Can I chime in? I don't know if that's okay.
Of course. No, that's fine. That's what you're here for.
Oh, thank you, girl. Okay. And my thing is that a lot of times we want to get to the cuddling and the spooning and all that yummy goodness without really solidifying that foundation.
Exactly.
I think, especially, I don't know if it's just my generation, but I feel like we want to skip those steps.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't want to. I haven't done that. I haven't spooned with anybody in years.
Okay.
Because I want that connection and that foundation to be in place first.
Okay.
I don't want to build something based on physical contact. That's just me though.
But that makes sense.
That's really interesting, because you're saying you don't want to you want to have a foundation of something that is physical in nature. But you don't want to have the physical contact. Can you explain that a little bit more?
I mean,
Yes,
I want to
comes first.
Please explain that.
Because the Y chromosomes here is just scratching our head. Okay, you want to be physical, but not that physical.
No, I want all of it. I want the physicality, but I want the emotional and the mental and spiritual relationship to be 100% first.
100%?
100%. And then the icing, I need the cake to be cooked, and then the icing will be all of that, the physical part.
And why does it have to be in order? Why can't all that happen together?
Why can't we get physical first?
Because I think that's to me, that's the issue. Is that I think that's what I'm here anyway. Is that I think the physical part, because I don't know, as a woman, if we're doing all that and taking you into our bodies, and it's just different for us. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm so glad you said that.
Am I wrong?
Because no, I say that a lot, and being the only woman, a lot of times I feel like they look at me like I'm talking with two heads.
I already feel the heat in here. They're looking at me like
I didn't. I'm just wondering.
Because for us, as you pointed out, it's once we're intimate, we wear our feelings here.
Yes.
So we need more. And I think a lot of times as men, you all are not giving us that emotional support that we need. We need more than the physical. When the physical is gone, if we don't have that mental connection established with one another, what do we have?
And I hear a lot of men say that they can't give us the emotional unless they have the physical, in place. So I don't know.
No, that's not true.
No,
But-
Not true.
I personally have heard that.
I mean, yeah, somebody Somebody told you that. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That was a ploy.
selling tool.
That was a plot.
But like, look, this is what I need in order for me to give you the
trying to get
emotional
this,
support.
Yeah.
Right.
I know, girl, if I don't use it, you know, you're gonna lose it. You know.
Oh
Right.
boy.
Somebody said that, not necessarily to me, but I heard somebody say that, but I need now. Don't get me wrong. You know, and during my time, before I got married, that's all I wanted was the physical. Because I wasn't ready to commit to anybody. I mean, my mind would change. I just grew bored a lot. Yeah. And it could be one thing that just, I'm done.
So with the physical, you were never like dickmatized though? Like you never, I mean, because that's my fear too.
Listen, I've had some good dick. Okay? I've had some really good dick where you just be like, I should hang outside his door. Seriously. It's a drug. It's a drug. I mean, I'm just saying, since we're talking about it, but during that time, it's like I wasn't willing to commit to anyone because I was still trying to figure out who I was.
So as a woman though, and knowing how great dick can be, you still like you still were comfortable with the physical
I had
first?
somebody whose dick I really liked, but they wasn't for me. I couldn't see building a relationship with them.
See, and you can't give me the good D if I don't want to build with you. So
the problem with women.
Here we go.
The problem with women is that y'all got standards. And that's crazy.
I think it wasn't standards for me then. I think it just was me trying to figure out who Jackie was and what she wanted. At that time, I didn't want to be in a relationship if I could have just taken the dick.
So how were you able to separate? Because
believe me, it wasn't easy. She said she can't.
I can't do that.
I think
it's a myth that, you know, it's can women actually, you know, compartmentalize it the way men. I think men are probably better at that.
Men are definitely better.
You know,
I will definitely say that.
Hear that, I would like to know, was it difficult?
It was very difficult
to not, you know. First time I've ever heard that word dickmatized. I love that. But at the same time, how were you able to separate the emotional?
It was hard, but then there were little things. It was hard. I mean, let me tell you, that man was definitely dick-dacity, okay?
Dick-dacity.
A hard man is good to find.
But the hard part was not to get caught up in the hype.
You're protecting your heart.
Yeah. Because I wasn't the only one he was seeing. And I think to kind of help me not to kind of like go overboard, I was seeing someone else too.
So you
kind of had to distract yourself so that you don't get dickmatized by Mr. Dick Dacity.
See, I can't do that. Like, I know myself. I know the power of the D.
You can do it.
No,
you're choosing not to.
I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that you just, once the dick is good,
it's good. You want it for yourself. And then I have been the girl that has been outside of your door looking crazy. Okay. And it's kind of like, Tamala, what are you doing? And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that version of myself.
Okay.
So
can I ask a tough question? Have either of you ladies been hurt before?
Hurt?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it made me mean.
Okay. After that hurt, I guess my question is, were you afraid to love again, or how long does it take you to actually love again, or do you ever get to a
getting deep up in here?
Well, I'm gonna let you answer.
Yeah,
well, I am very sensitive, and to me, sex is very sacred. I think that it's a very spiritual act, and so when I do have sex with someone or even fall in love, it takes me a long time to recover. Okay. And so the last person I was dating, it's been 5 years. And as a result, I haven't had sex. I haven't Netflixed and chilled. I haven't spooned with a soul. And the way that I pretty much get my kicks is through my film writing and through my acting. You know, like the most action I get is usually on set. Sad but true, girls. Sad but true.
I mean, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Because a lot of people, you know, like when you get hurt like that, or, you know, that's always my question. I'm like, for a woman that's been hurt before, it's like, are you afraid to love again?
I don't think I'm afraid to love, but I just, you know, I know that my heart is my treasure. And so I'm just very careful about sharing it. And I also don't want to bring any kind of baggage into the next situation. So I heal from it and purify myself completely from the past before I allow somebody else.
5 years is a long time.
Yeah, 5 years is.
That's like you.
What do you, time, the love time is, what do you mean? Is it a long time? I don't know.
It's 5 years though. Like there's a lot of life that happens in 5 years.
I've been living.
No,
I just haven't been, you know.
That's like Obama got elected and then elected again.
And again, like
you know what I mean?
So let me ask a question.
That is a long time.
5 years. Is there like a sacred masturbation moment?
That's not off limits at all.
Okay.
I'm not a nun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like it's plenty of self-love happening over here.
Gotcha.
But it's self-love.
But I understand that you say that the sex part is sacred and great, but you can't build a relationship with somebody and maybe, you know, not, you know, take sex off the table, but doing other intimate things.
Like, what do you mean? Like
you said, you haven't even cuddled with anybody in 5 years.
Yeah. Because I don't.
Okay. Well, here's the question. This will. I'm his anger translator. Okay?
Oh my gosh, this is a hot seat right now. What the hell?
Do you have outer course?
What does that mean? Like on
Not
dates?
intercourse, but you know.
Oh yeah, she just said that.
Or the second and third base.
No, he's saying with another human.
No. Only because I haven't met anybody that I wanted to do those things with.
Okay.
Who's worthy?
Well, have you not met?
You
haven't met anybody that you wanted to do. So there's no one that you have felt the urge with at all.
At all.
Okay. Well, that's different than I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I meet plenty of people that I think are hot, but doesn't mean I want their penis in my mouth. Like
no. Not even. I'm saying I'm going back. I'm going all the way back to when you said that you don't. I'm going all the way back. I'm going back to when you said that you like if you you go out on a date with a man and you have a good time, everything's happy in life, and then you want to visit his home or he visits your home and y'all just chilling and watching television. We're not leading to sex or anything.
I feel like men that's always the motive, and so I don't put myself in situations like that until I know that we're together.
Okay.
Like I don't want to spoon with you and then have to be blocking the D. Like I don't know. That's just I've been in my younger 20s. It was all about just hang out with me and watch a movie, and then it's like.
Do you not want to block it because you're not good at blocking? Because you may fall into the trap.
A little bit of both. Sometimes it takes energy blocking it, and then sometimes you just don't want to be tempted either.
Yeah, Carla. Okay.
What's happening?
You're live on Mix Station Radio. Who do we have on the line?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy, Dr. Love. Even though I can't be there physically, I'm there right there on the phone. You feel what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have that kind of conversation without Dr. Love. Come on, darling.
Are you spooning right now?
Are you spooning now?
Are you spooning right now?
I'm watching the young lady over there, talking about 5 years. It's been 5 years, and she's trying to make that connection. Listen, trust and believe, if you want to make a connection with a young guy, look to your right-hand side. You see that fine specimen on the screen in the black shirt? There you go.
I was still looking around.
Hey, I know where he's going.
I was still looking around. I looked at Rich like, Rich doesn't have on black.
Listen, check this out. 100% USD grade A meat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
So,
is it grade A or grade D?
Listen. Whatever grade you want to give it. You know
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Dr.
Whatever
Love.
grade
Yes,
wanna
thank
give
you,
it,
Dr.
I'm
Love.
telling you. Listen, this
Anyway.
is Angus right here.
Yeah, he shot that 3-pointer from the corner.
Okay. Now you can take a nap.
Okay.
Oh my God. He all the way at home
Now
trying to make a love
she's
connection.
gonna be looking over her shoulder every minute.
You know what I'm saying? Listen. I had all of this planned. I knew she was coming. I knew
OMG.
and the way that it was
He probably
already
been stalking
angled, all
your
she had to do was
Instagram.
look to her right hand side.
I love that.
Look
I
to her
love that.
right hand side.
I'm looking, brother. I'm looking.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Wait. It's two men in black in that picture.
Well, yeah, but I
It
know you.
sure is.
I know
And
you.
actually,
I see
the way
you.
I'm sitting, Quiet Storm is to my right.
Hold on.
Yeah, and he's to your right.
I'm looking at it live. I see where she's sitting right
Understood.
there. Big fella.
All right, you made your shot.
You know
You
what
made
I'm
your
saying?
shot.
So, but I'm here, y'all, talk and different things like that about different layers of the cake and different things like that.
What does intimacy mean to you?
Oh, well, first of all, to me, you got to have the right ingredients.
Which
You
is?
know what I'm saying? And some of us come into these relationships trying to make our own ingredients. And when you make your own ingredients, you come out with angel food cake. Now, and nobody likes angel food cake.
Speak for
because
yourself.
It got no flavor, no taste. That's the reason why you got to add the strawberries and the whipped cream just to eat that goddamn thing. You see what I'm saying? But once you make the right ingredients and you got the right eggs and the flour, the sugar and all that stuff, you got the great cake. See, sex is the icing.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't think
Sex is the
she's
icing.
asking for you to do a dissertation or anything. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the point, man.
Listen. What I'm saying is this. Everybody is always trying, everybody looks at the icing because the icing seems appealing. What really is appealing is what fills you up, and what fills you up is that cake.
Oh, okay.
So the cake is the love, the cake is the understanding, the cake is the trust, the cake is commitment. You understand what I'm saying? The cake is communication. The cake is everything. You know what I'm saying? But the sex is the icing. I know what I'm talking about.
Is
and I
the
ain't
sex
even eat
the
dinner,
icing?
so I know what I'm talking about.
I think it's the icing.
I ain't even eat dinner yet, and I'm talking good.
Yeah, you probably
But,
have the
but
cake
yeah,
right
you
there
know,
in front of you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's all cake right there.
Okay.
That's all cake right there. Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't heard in a long time of a woman who gone 5 years without intimacy. You know what I'm saying? So trust and believe. You know, I mean, you all still exist. Don't think that y'all don't. I mean, y'all still do exist. I can't believe you gone 5 years, but I can't even go 5 minutes. But what I'm saying to you is that, but I understand exactly where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, you can be tempted by the dick or pussy or whatever, but you want, you know, that grounds of understanding and trust and
yeah,
you know, everything. I understand. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. But I will say this, that you what most guys don't understand is that you come with a warning label. So see, the warning label is because you ain't been intimate in 5 years with a man, the man that you do get intimate with, oh my God. You might as well put his dick on the shelf. He ain't gonna use that motherfucker no more. He be walking past that motherfucker every morning before he leaves for work. He used to be something. Now he's nothing no more. You know. So, but look, I'm gonna let y'all go so y'all get back to the show. This is your boy, Dr. Love, and I'm Maui.
All right, man. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Love.
Yeah, same to y'all.
All right.
I'll be back next month.
Okay. All right.
Later.
Good night. But I think when you decide that you're not going to be intimate with someone, it's a choice that you make because one, it's about getting to know yourself. You know what you're worth, and you're just not willing to settle. I don't think. I think it's different for everybody.
Mhm.
I think for me, I think that I would probably take that same road simply because being in a relationship for a long time, I wouldn't be eager to go out there and meet someone.
It's too much energy.
It's a lot of work.
When you're in the right relationship and when you experience that all levels, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, you don't want nothing, anything short of that.
You don't want to settle.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
And I know, I mean, some brothers, some people never really experienced that to even understand or even fathom what we're talking about. It's literally, it's like if starting all over with someone and you don't have that, it's just a waste of time. I mean, sex is one thing, but we're talking about love. I mean,
right.
Sex is easy.
Think about it. You're probably going to love like 4 people, real love, in your whole lifetime. You know what I mean? 3 or 4, maybe. From you being a teenager to an adult, and there's different types of love, and it manifests in different ways. But yeah, it's a lot of energy, and I understand. It's like I said. That's why I asked, are they worthy? Some people ain't worthy of all of that.
Yeah, I agree. And that a lot of times, as you're getting to know them, listen, I don't want to invest time with this person because we are at 2 different ends of the spectrum, so why continue? I think for me, I think I could be content to be alone simply because I've been in a relationship for a long time. I don't even know I don't even know if I could date, if I would know how to date, because it just seems like the game has changed so much.
It's different now.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I'm in a relationship, and I missed the whole online dating thing with
lucky you.
whatever those apps and all that stuff is. Like, I missed that whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's like people don't go and like meet each other at places, physical places anymore, and that's rough.
Yeah,
and you got to have a whole relationship in text message.
And that's what I was getting ready to bring up.
The emojis. Like, I don't even know what does this mean?
Right. So everything could be misconstrued, because you're texting.
Because I got an iPhone and you got an Android, and the emojis
and we're
might be
not
different.
Connecting
they're not
exactly. Yeah.
I got
it's weird. When you're out a lot of times and you see couples on a date, or they could be a married couple. What I look at a lot of times when I'm out, everybody's holding their phone. And I'm sitting there like, what kind of connection do you have if everybody is holding their telephone?
Well, it's about perception, because if, we from a time where before all this text messages and stuff like that, we might feel a certain way, but people who grew up that way,
it's the norm, I imagine. It's the norm.
It's like text me, and it's a little. Whereas, man, for a girl to give me that number, that was a lot.
It was it's like you hit the jackpot.
That was a big deal.
Yeah,
girls wasn't giving out their numbers, but they'll give you a cell phone number quick. Or you could find a way to.
They don't even ask for numbers no more. It's like, let me get your IG or your
phone. Oh, yeah, your IG.
And so you build a relationship on Instagram.
Like,
okay.
It'd be a while before you even actually have to physically dial numbers to call.
But keep in mind, look, 20 years from now, it's going to be
holograms.
No. It's going to close, but you're going to be like, Daddy, how did you and Mommy met? He's like, man, I saw her profile picture on IG. Man, I just had to inbox her, man, because she looks so cute.
Yeah.
That's going to be the narrative, right?
And that, which is crazy, but you're probably right. So what, dating today, what is it? Well, you're not dating right now.
I'm dating.
You're dating.
I'm dating.
What is okay?
I'm dating.
I'm out there.
You said that with attitude.
I'm just saying.
Dating. I'm just not sexing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's it like as a woman dating today?
It's hard. It's not hard. That's not true.
I know. I hear that word one more time.
I know.
Are you hard? Since we're talking.
I think think it's. I mean, I personally can be a lazy online dater.
Okay.
You know, I prefer to meet people the old-fashioned way, like in person. But then I think that we're also so busy, like in my generation. I think,
That's
especially in New
true.
York, you know,
Yeah.
everyone's so busy, and at my age, it's hard to get things going. But I do not like to text.
Okay.
So I actually, the last person I was seeing, he texted most of the time, and I'm like, hey, dude, like that's not going to work for me. I need you to call me. Or we're seeing each other. Like, we can't. To me, building via text is not going to work. So
yeah, I agree with you on that. But I feel like
But that's not
I'm
the norm. Y'all know
outdated.
that's not the norm.
I
yeah,
know,
that's what I'm saying.
but
I'm outdated, you know, because I don't want to get to know someone via text.
texting to me is very functional. Like, you know, like I guess phone call can be functional. I just can't. Like, call me and like.
So what are the rules of dating etiquette? You exchange numbers. Do you wait for him to call, or he calls you, or he has to? You still want to be courted? You still want to be
yes,
coveted?
I want to be courted.
So you wait for him to call you, even though you like him, or do you call him back, or call him first, or what?
Let me think about the last person I was really, really into. Let me think. I don't know.
Maybe the person you're dating now.
We ended that. So
okay.
I think he like texted me right away, or usually I may say like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," just to like right after. I think I do that. I'm like, "Oh, it's so good to meet you. I can't wait to talk." You know, call me sometime soon.
So
yeah, I let it know. I express interest. I don't like play coy. It's like, I like you. Let's be friends.
Like, let's just get this out in the open.
Yeah.
I like you, you know.
But after I do that,
if you play your cards right.
Yeah, after that though, I would hope that he would initiate. Like, I don't want to chase, and you know, nobody wants to feel like you're dragging somebody to hang out.
Right.
So, you know,
what's it like for men to date nowadays?
I'm not dating.
I know you're not dating,
but
but
very committed relationship.
Okay.
Hey, so love you, girl.
Put that out there.
So, but, I mean, prior to this relationship, what was it like dating?
It wasn't difficult. There's a lot of options women wise.
Okay.
There's a lot of single women like all the time. The only like drawback is what was that?
I'm just saying, single woman all the time.
Oh, yeah,
Me.
all the time.
It's true. I mean, there's more.
But because there's so many options, it's very difficult to live in the moment, which I think is a problem with intimacy nowadays. That people can be out on the date and on texting somebody else,
right?
Or you can't. It's very difficult to live in the actual moment that you're in right now, without thinking about the next person.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Or the better person.
And do you think that make men less likely to commit because of so many options?
No, I don't think it's less likely for men to commit because there's so many options. Because once a man sees somebody and is with somebody they want to commit to and that they're serious about, there's no issue with that.
Okay.
And he has to just want to be, because some people don't. Some men aren't looking to be in a committed relationship ever. Like, that's not what their interest is.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, she's great and she can be the most wonderful girl in the world, but that's just not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And that's just is what it is.
And it's just like, you know, there are some women that are not interested in being in a relationship because it may be they're focused on their career or whatever else they have going on. Huh?
Men too.
Men too.
Men are that's like probably the number one thing for me when I was single. I'm not anymore. Hey, Piquiso. When I was single,
I love that.
that kept me from dating a woman is that I wanted to not necessarily focus on my career, but I didn't want the other distractions of having to. That's because having a girlfriend and having dating, that's like another job.
Yeah.
Which is why I was always a one person at a time thing, because that was like having two jobs.
Yeah.
And then they can't know about each other and I got to juggle around. It's just a lot of stress.
That's good. That's good.
It is stressful. You know, I mean, the thing that I think, well, my references as far as dating and the digital age is I think when I was dating, I still had a beeper. So
Yeah.
Yes.
143.
I mean, I'm trying to keep it real, but
And when I was
can't
dating,
even,
we didn't even have the beepers. So.
I can't even imagine now. Just being part of that. That's why I was asking the rules of etiquette. I mean, what do you do now? You're texting, you inboxing, and all this stuff. And it's just too much.
But a text message is so clear, to where I can say exactly what I want. I don't have to call. The reason why I text people is because I don't need to have a long conversation and trying to figure out what to talk about.
Okay.
I just need to give you the information. We're meeting at such and such place.
Yeah, it's functional.
At such and such time.
And it's not invasive too, because when you send a text message, they read it whenever they get a chance.
Right.
I think that from that functionality, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's to supplement, not to be the
not
main.
to build a relationship.
Yeah, you can't be asking about my past and my parents and via text message.
I mean, but if I'm busy, I'm like you said, we're busy. If I'm busy at work, you're busy at work, and I still want to find the time to get to know you, and I can text you throughout the day, but I can't stop and have an hour-long conversation with you. I feel like that's cool. Later, we should when we have time to talk. Yes, let's talk. Intimate stuff. But if the days are piling up to where I can't communicate with you because I can't call you, I'm not getting to know you because I'm doing whatever I'm doing and you're doing whatever you're doing. A text message to get that going I feel like is a happy thing.
It's right.
And at the same time, that text message throughout the day on a Friday night, or during the Friday before a Friday night date. Can add to the
absolutely before a date.
Yeah, exactly.
Add to the build-up. So in the right way, very much effective. But I think some people get caught up in that where they lose that personal touch and they can't look you in the eye or talk or have a conversation.
Right.
So they use so it can be detrimental. So.
I like how you explained it, that texting, and even you, like if you're busy, of course I'm not going to be a crazy person and be like, oh my God, if you're busy, I get it. But I mean, like if you're just not making the time to make the effort to call someone.
A text message throughout the day is going to be like, hey, I just want to let you know that
how you doing?
I just got out of a board meeting and I was just thinking about you.
And that's fine because then you feel like you are a priority.
Yes.
But we can't just build the relationship on texting. But I would love that kind of text. Hey, girl, I was just thinking about you. Just got out of a meeting or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I feel like we share a connection.
And I can't wait to see you tonight.
Exactly.
For our date.
We're going to do some sexting.
But that's what it's saying. That's making love as well, because you're making love throughout the day on that level. It's not just the physical, but that's like you say, I could make love all weekend by doing that. But saying that you're thinking of and knowing that person reciprocating and thinking about
I think
you
that's
as
sweet.
well.
I think that's sweet. But we have to have more. It can't just be just that.
Yes. It can't be. Not with me anyway. Don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
get shut down.
I get the feeling from you that you get upset if somebody asks you a personal question about your not about your past. A get to know you question in a text message.
If that's the only way that you're trying to get to know me, like if we're not actually meeting in person, if it isn't like in conjunction with our other interactions, it'll bother me. But if we have to be at least talking on the phone in the mix of that.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
What if it hasn't gotten? What if it's a screen? And this is me being devil's advocate. What if it's like what if he's asking?
Good Lord.
What if he's asking you about your past, just to get to know you a little bit better through text message to see if I need to devote any more time to you? What if I'm asking you like questions? I can't think of a question. But what if I'm asking you like, do you how many brothers and sisters you got, stuff like that?
Yeah.
And you say I got 2 sisters, but I only date women that got 3 sisters. So now I can say, now I can say, wait a minute, let me stop talking to her. And now I don't have to waste your time and my time because I went through this screening process in text message.
That's fine.
But it's not fine because if they say that, if they ask you those intimate questions and you get upset and you shut them down, you never get to know whether it's fine. You never get to know whether you know, that's what they're doing.
My issue is that if we've gone on a few dates, or we've met in person, but then you're just let's say we haven't met. Let's say we're just doing the online dating thing, and like let's say with Bumble or one of those apps, you know, you exchange information, and then rather than calling the person, you're just texting. Like nothing's gonna happen from that. For me, it's not gonna do it for me. Or even like if we have gone on a date, and then after the date, you're just texting me. It just gets boring for me. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's like a prolonged thing,
like prolonged. That's what I mean.
If we spent like a week only texting, and I haven't heard your voice in a week, then that's
right.
probably an issue.
Exactly. But like I'm not a tyrant. I'm not like, don't ask me any questions about my personal life. Get your face off. I'm not doing that.
All right.
If you text or send a voice, it'll be like Marcus.
Which is kind of sexy. I mean, Eartha Kitt, you know.
Yeah,
sexy.
I mean, exactly. So tell us about the basis of the show.
Ooh, Bubbly Brown Sugar.
Yes.
Is about two soulmates that are meeting in their dreams, and what they have to go through when they wake up to find each other. And the premise of that is that a lot of people want things. We want love, we want our favorite career, we want the dream. But sometimes we have to go through our trials, we have to purge ourselves in order to receive that good, and that's what it pretty much is showing and teaching.
Okay. And so tell me about the characters.
It's a pretty male-dominated show, to be honest.
I noticed that.
Yeah, because, you know, I got to get it where I can get it. You know, get that masculine energy where I can get it.
I guess so, yeah. Cash-wise.
Cash-wise, you know? So, and there are three... So I'm playing the lead character, Jewel, and she is a blogger, and she is very spiritual. I kind of think a cross between Freddie Brooks from Different World and Pam Grier in my head, you know, kind of like sexy but hippie, but also really professional.
Right.
And she is the caregiver. Well, she's taking care of her mom that has dementia with her brother, and she has a fiance that she kind of like, you know, pushed to the side because of these dreams that she's having of this mysterious person.
Okay.
So she had a fiance, a great guy.
Great guy.
And then she had a dream about another guy. And now she's leaving him.
She's leaving the fiance for the dream.
Don't say it like that.
Wait a minute.
Who has dementia? Who has dementia? The mom or her?
But now, the way you describe this character, this is you.
A little bit,
yeah.
Yeah. Very much a lot of me is in there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you had a relationship with a great guy and had a dream about another guy?
And left him? No.
You had to just check, right?
That happened to every man.
But I have dreamed about a man that was amazing and meet him in real life. So yeah, I have had prophetic dreams.
Okay.
And part of that was to showcase a lot of spiritual people, or not even, I think sometimes Christians don't want to articulate their spiritual gifts.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what I wanted to showcase there.
Okay.
In a new way. And the guy she's dreaming about, Caleb, her soulmate, is a really smart entrepreneur, but also he's grieving the loss of his ex-fiance, who left him, and you find out why she left him in the show.
Abruptly. She left him abruptly.
She left him abruptly, yeah.
She dreamed of her soulmate too.
Right? I was like, my soulmate. Oh, whoa.
Now I do, and I'm gonna put this out there. Do you think that you could be in a relationship for a long time and then all of a sudden you meet somebody that you just feel is your soulmate?
Hell yeah.
Because I don't think that everybody marries their soulmate.
I agree.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, and I think that there are times where you find that person long after you've been into your relationship.
But what do you do? Do you leave your relationship?
And I think that's a good question. I think that's a great question. What do you do? Because you're drawn to this person, but then you have history with another person. I think it probably depends on that individual, but because that's your soulmate, it doesn't necessarily guarantee a great life.
That's true. That's true too.
And you're not guaranteed that that's your soulmate. That you just might be, you know, she just might be cool right there, right?
Good energy.
Just because she like the same movies, you like, oh, that's my soulmate.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, people do that.
People do that. I agree.
Oh, got so much in common.
And it's more to it than that. I think a lot of times we have a problem differentiating between a soulmate or somebody that you share common interests with.
Mm-hmm.
But in the event, because I know that this has happened to someone, I think I shared some of that story, and interestingly enough, he ended up connecting to his soulmate, but his wife knew something was wrong between them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she was a very strong woman, and that she loved him enough to set him free. Yeah.
To me, that's real love.
Yeah.
In my opinion, to be able to love without conditions and to love freely like that, I think that's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
If I could only be that mature.
And that's what I was ready to say. How many of us are actually mature enough to do that?
Well, it's maturity, and it's also like I personally don't want to be with anybody who doesn't want to be with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that was another thing too, because she knew he would never love her like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and personally, I believe there are different kinds of soulmates. I believe that, you know, even if you do have that connection with someone, it may not be meant that you guys are supposed to marry.
And that's
it
true.
It could be something else, you know. But
yeah, you could just be meant to be friends. I think, like you said, it's levels to it. What I leave a relationship for the sake of, or in my mind, I've convinced myself that that's my soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll say that.
I don't know if I'm in a relationship or marriage or whatever it is, if I can spend enough time with somebody else to recognize that they would be my soulmate.
So what if it was an energy thing? It isn't so much. What if, you know? Because sometimes a lot of mystic poets, they say it's like
right, absolutely.
It's like a soul, like something. Like it's like a river in your soul that
Mm-hmm.
you know, like it's a current of joy that happens when you guys are together. That doesn't really happen with everybody.
That you've never felt with anybody else.
It's like you don't know it until you know it.
Until you know it, exactly.
You feel it,
yeah.
And whether you spend a lot of time with that person or you don't spend a lot of time, you just feel that connection.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes it's lust.
That's true.
Right.
And sometimes it's for what they say, for a season.
For a season.
But then it's sometimes for a reason. But that's the discernment that you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, that's the complex part of this is, do you sacrifice the time that you spent with this person for something that seems like it's better?
The time,
and is it a selfish?
Life is short. Everybody.
That's what I was going to say. Is it selfish? And then to piggyback on that, life is short. So you have this connection with someone. Do you sacrifice that connection, and then you always wonder what would it have become?
You will, because if you're a committed person, you say a commitment is a commitment, and you sacrifice that. I mean, it could be a lot of things.
Well,
it's not that easy.
It's not definitely,
To that, I would say that is a Chris Rock movie. Called
I think I love my wife.
I love my wife. Yeah.
To where he's like where people say life is short, but he was saying that you know, life is actually long. You're probably not going to get hit by a bus tomorrow. You're going to have to really live with these decisions for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you have to weigh your options.
It's like, because there's a lot. Like if you've been in like a long-term relationship, you've invested more than just time. You invested time. You invested money. You guys have made plans. You have a plan. Goals and stuff that you're helping each other build.
Right.
And do you really just throw that away just because I feel electricity with somebody else, similar to the electricity that I felt with you when we started,
that we probably don't have it.
That maybe we don't have
or
it. Not you, Keisha.
Yeah, that you've never. I love it. Could it be that you never had that electricity with that person, and then all of a sudden you meet somebody that it's like an instant connection? You may have had to build this relationship to get it to the point where you wanted it, and then you find that person where,
It's
bam,
easy.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the heart. I like the heart. I'd rather have it the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
In this, I'm sorry.
I like the, like, if something is easy, like most of the stuff that I attain easily is not really, I don't really cherish that much. The stuff that I have to like work at and build, and those are the things that matter the most to me. Those are the things that I tend to cherish more. So it's, I don't want to, it's kind of like the easy way out to say, oh, but that's a Medi Ray person. You know what I'm trying to say. That's that person that's already there, and we can just jump in and we can just be prodigally and happy forever, versus the person that I've been building this thing with for 5 years or however long I've been building it. And we've together, we've worked hard, we've grown with each other, we've intertwined with each other, and we've made this strong foundation.
In the character Quincy that plays my ex-fiance in the show, he's taking that position of trying to like just not throw away what they built together,
Right. Okay.
because of what she's saying. He's like, we've been together since college, like this is crazy, and I'm gonna let you work through your craziness right now. I'm not going nowhere, not really, because I've invested money, time,
yeah,
resources,
a lot of time.
and we're gonna get this together, girl.
Yeah, work on you. I'm gonna be right here.
Yeah, for you to sort all that nonsense out. Like,
and sometimes it might be just a matter of working on you because you're going through some things right now,
and that's true.
Who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you don't have to marry every electric person you run across.
Are you sure?
Oh, you good? Y'all can, oh, that's electric. That's good. You don't have to marry her.
That is true.
Because it could just be for that moment,
right?
You know, and then you've thrown away years of partnership for the moment. I think it's it depends on the person.
That is the riddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes good screenplays.
Yes. Yes. A lot of the characters in the show, a lot of the men especially, I wanted to show how strong and how beautiful and how vulnerable men can feel. I don't think that we really see or capture men being sensitive and being like, just, you know, like, I love you.
Right.
Without the drama in the media or on TV. So I want to really showcase that.
Yeah,
but there definitely is some drama.
Okay.
There's definitely drama.
It sounds like a well-written story with a lot of levels, because you know, you mentioned 3 characters, and I could see a story in each one of those characters itself. You know, the fiance, that's a story by itself.
Yeah.
You know, I have a woman who you know, you could base a story with him as a lead character.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's interesting.
And what that looks like, you know, when he's by himself, like, how is he going through depression with this?
Right.
You know, is he feeling inadequate? Like, how do men handle rejection? That totally could be a spinoff, you know.
They can't even explain it. He has no control.
Yeah. And it's about God, nonetheless. Like, he's left me because of God.
And that's the explanation that he has.
Yeah, that's it.
What do you do with that explanation? What if you're the person who's being left for their soulmate? I want you to see my quotation marks. What if you're that person? Like, what do you do with that? Like, are you like?
And they believe it. That's the thing about
it. And they believe it.
But they haven't, and nothing that you can say to convince them otherwise, because they've already convinced themselves that this is their soulmate. So for the person on the other end of that, do you blame yourself? Do you say, is it something that I could have done different to make that person want to stay? And men, I'd say a lot of times you all have a harder time dealing with the rejection.
Do they?
Than women.
Yes.
Yeah. I think sometimes men probably want to go on a killing rampage or something. You all don't deal with breakup or rejection well.
Remember I told you it depends on it depends on what kind of coochie you got. You know,
well, when it comes down to about the level of coochie that you brought up.
It was a few weeks ago we had a discussion and we were asking, it was like, okay, you know, what kind of coochie you got? You know, if we break up, am I going to key your car, or am I going to stab somebody, or am I going to do 25 to life? And she's like, I'm going to key your car and stalk her kind of thing. Mine ain't that good.
And I can't do tricks not like that, so I don't know. Like,
me personally, I might get I might get somebody standing outside my house or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's what I was saying. I'm the you want to
Nobody going
stand
to jail for my
outside the
dick.
door.
Nobody doing no homicides on my dick. As much as I think I'm good,
I'm the one where the guy wants to ask, "Can I smell your panties one last
Okay,
time?"
okay,
You know, that
okay, well,
kind
that's
of
above
shit.
average. That's above average. You know what I mean?
Which I think is so bizarre, and you all have still failed
Wait.
to explain why someone would ask
Has
that.
that actually
I know-
happened? That's never happened to me.
I
No
know
one's ever asked
somebody-
for my
look,
panties.
I know
Homicides.
somebody went through a breakup and he committed homicide.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
wow.
So I was like, wow, how good does your pussy have to be?
She must got the bomb.
I don't want
Bomb
that.
pussy.
Yeah.
I don't want no
I don't
pussy.
want it back.
Yeah.
You know, that's too much.
Ain't nobody going to jail for me. For this.
We call that 20 to life pussy.
Yeah. You gonna keep my car? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just keep
You
my
might put
shit.
you might
know,
put
I can
sugar in
get
my
that
gas tank.
repainted. I can get it painted. You
Yeah,
know.
you might puncture my tires, but then you ain't going to jail for me.
And I don't want anybody to be into me that much where, you know,
That's scary.
you want to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's a little different.
No, you don't.
You
You
know?
can't help it.
Hmm.
You can't help it.
I'm just saying I don't want that. I mean, I might have pulled out my heavy artillery, and that may have been the thing that set them over the edge. You know what I'm saying?
That's the kind of loving that I want, though, and that's why I don't engage because I know myself. I know how I want to go. And
Yeah.
you can't. Wait.
She gonna be like that
So
chick
you-
on I'm gonna get you sucker.
What did she do? What did she do? Oh, with the no legs?
With
That
the-
one?
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I mean, it's crazy. You hear different circumstances and just be like, what the hell happened in that relationship that they had to react that way?
Mhm.
And also not knowing how to really love. I feel like that's
Yeah.
part of it too. And I really like talking about that in the show, what it means to love and how it looks like. Like love is not that. Love is not that's infatuation. That's obsession.
Yeah.
That's
So let me ask you about the character. Is she one of those people that before the dream, prior to the dream,
Mhm.
is there a story about how they were before the dreams?
not yet.
Okay.
Maybe season 2, maybe season 3.
Okay.
Mhm.
The relationship between her and her fiance, was she super attentive, gave him everything he wants?
It was happy.
It was happy.
It was happy. It was
And
healthy.
then all of a sudden it's cold turkey. She
Cold
changes.
turkey. It was more about you sometimes when you get that nudging from God.
Cold sausage.
That's something. Cold sausage? No. I like that. Cold sausage. No, they have a healthy sex life. Like it was
Okay.
all good. I think it was more spiritual. Like she just felt something in her heart.
And then it was noticeably enough where he just knew it was something different.
No, I think it was her that was kind of like, I don't want to be unfair to you,
Uh-huh.
so we have to put the brakes on this because.
So nothing after that.
Nothing.
What do you mean?
Wow.
No, they're still together. I mean, they're still each other. Like he's still around. He still is holding on hope.
There's some things that happen in the show. I don't want to give away. I want y'all to see it.
I can't wait to see it.
But there's some stuff that happens in the show to you. You feel bad for this guy.
Oh my
That's the man,
God.
like, oh.
He says that the character is teasing him, and I'm like, no, she's not
Yes,
teasing
absolutely.
him.
How? I mean, without giving so much of it away, but
Because he wants things, and he's very clear that he wants certain things.
okay.
But she's clear too that we're not together.
Right. But he's clear that he wants things, and he's telling her all these things that he wants. He's very clear. He says, I want to be with you, basically.
Mhm.
And she is still in some ways acting as if they're together, but not.
Oh.
So she
giving
wants it
all of
both
herself.
ways. It's
Yeah.
like she's playing.
I
it
don't think
safe.
she
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, because you've been in relationships to where you or situationships
Yeah.
to where you are
Mm.
part of the way in, but not really all the way in.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
every time you get kind of close to going over that edge, you're like, oh no, I don't want to hurt you.
And that's hard for
and
the
the messed
person
up-
on the other end of that.
but the
you know,
messed up
it's like
thing is
being
like-
yo-yo.
But the messed up thing is he didn't do anything.
Right? He didn't
Yeah,
do it.
and that's the
Yeah.
paradigm because it's like, okay.
He was like perfect, like the dream man.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He did
Hit it right.
Yeah. Huh?
I said he
was-
hit it right. That's a good.
And so, okay,
So it's
for
like-
that man
that
that
was-
did everything right, does he? I mean, you might think, what did I do wrong? Or
Yeah.
women don't know what they want, and does the next woman pay for that? You know, because I think sometimes guys go through that.
They do.
They
You think
do.
so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Oh
was
my
getting.
God,
And that's what I was getting
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
because that's part of the obsession with at some point. It's not even. It won't even be a situation where he wants you back. It's the principle.
It's the
Mm.
principle,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like in a sense where it's like, okay, I did. Y'all women been complaining about all the stuff that men don't do.
Mhm.
Here I am being that person,
I did
and it's
everything
still
right.
not good enough.
Right.
So does that exist though in real life?
For Patrick
Yeah,
Swayze,
absolutely.
for
Definitely.
Patrick Swayze, a ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For
Well, that's
somebody
like-
who don't even exist.
He still comes to see me. He died and loved me enough to come back to see me.
Right? Exactly. Oh, yeah.
I did, but it's when the guy says I did everything right. Everything was
Yeah.
great. I don't know what more I could have done. She said she was happy.
But do those men exist though?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, those men
relationships.
do. Yeah, and they
Yes.
do. I definitely would have to say yes to that. I think that's so devastating to anyone in that situation when you know you've done everything that you could do, and then all of a sudden this person decides, I don't want this anymore, and you
Mhm.
never saw it coming.
Yeah.
That's really devastating. And do you then take the attitude where I'm going to make every person after that pay?
It's
Because
not
I
even-
think that happens
But it's not.
too.
I'm gonna make every person after that pay. I'm not taking it out on every person after that.
Mhm.
But it's like I did everything right, and I still ended up in jail. So now that I'm out of jail of being over this relationship, I got some time built up
I can't wait.
that
For,
I need to.
I can't wait for the spinoff. I need to see
I
that.
have
I want to see this.
develop
I want to
trust
see this.
issues, and you may not get
Yep.
as close to other women
Mhm.
because of fear of what happened in your previous relationship.
Exactly.
I have a
Yeah.
question. Now, let's say the character decides, let's say maybe to be like, okay, I changed my mind and take him back. Do you think that he would?
Yep.
He would take her back, but I think that he might not have that same level of commitment for
Mm.
fear that may happen again.
Well,
Because it depends. It depends. And
Mhm.
if this is about power,
Mm.
you know, he may just want her back. I say he just may want her back just to
His ego.
so that he could cut it off.
Mm.
and what
Yeah.
did you do while you was gone? First, let's establish that. What happened while you're gone? Like, what did you do?
Because the first thing you all want to
I
know
prayed.
is you have sex with someone
Yeah.
else,
Yep.
right?
Let's say
Yeah.
there was no humping around. There was none of that. She
Mhm.
just took this time to spiritually clear about what she wanted.
It's just now, but when you do come back, and now it's like, now I'm thinking, now I don't know, because you left for no reason before. As far as I'm concerned, you left for no reason. So
Yeah, there's
now
gonna be that
it's
doubt.
a trust, it's a
Yeah.
doubt thing that's in my
Mhm.
head that
Right.
anytime God may tell you again that
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need to go, and then I'm gonna be in the same position. So he's gonna take her back, but he's gonna be cautious and careful, and
Right.
and it's gonna be different,
Yeah.
and that's
gonna be
something that
different.
she created.
Is schizophrenia hereditary?
See,
You said her mom was schizophrenic. Right?
her mom has early onset Alzheimer's.
But it's gonna take a while to build
That
that,
trust.
that level of trust that they had before back
Right.
up, and she has to be in for that.
Mhm.
That's a great.
So
story.
she
What a
can't be
great
like,
story.
come on. She has,
No.
she has okay.
No,
So how
Yeah,
long?
'cause-
How long has this story been in the making? I mean, from conception to putting it down on at this level.
I'm a fiery Aries, and so I don't sit on ideas for a long time. So this
Okay.
idea dropped into my spirit last October, 2017 October,
Okay.
Wow.
on my way to work, sitting in traffic. That song by SZA was on, Love Galore, Love was on, and the whole story just dropped into my spirit, and I wrote it in like 10 days. And the only reason why it took 10 days is because I was actually had to work and had to eat and had to shit. So I didn't have like the time to do it.
Mhm.
But I wrote it in 10 days, had a table reading probably the week after it was done. And then the cast that did the table reading was like, oh my God, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And so January came and I was like, let's do it.
Awesome.
And now it's done.
That's great. So we
Now
can't wait
it's
to see
done.
it. But you have a long resume. So tell us about some of your other projects.
Oh, my background is in new media. And then I was like, I don't want to work in an office anymore. And so I left that to pursue theater. So I've been doing musical theater for a while. I also went to Juilliard for the flute. I don't play anymore, so don't ever ask me to play.
You don't see that many black women play the flute.
There he goes.
You guys should see his face.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And so my
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No. And so now I'm just trying to get more into film and TV, and I'm always been big about, as opposed to waiting for an opportunity, to create your own opportunity. And so, Bubbly Brown Sugar is my first, long project that I wrote and produced.
That's cool.
Well, congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
It's like from your mind, well, from God to your mind to your hands and out to production. It's all.
'Cause I was praying for it. My mom passed away in 2016,
Okay.
and after that, like, nothing really mattered as much. Things got a little bit dimmer. Like, I didn't care about theater so much. I was doing marketing on the side. Like, I was doing these like touring classes, and I was like, I don't want to do that. So I was praying, like, God, what is my purpose now? Like, nothing matters. And then that came, and that like life came back.
Well, without getting too specific, any additional projects or ideas you got?
Yes.
Storyline?
Yes.
Okay.
There are two things I want to share. The one is that I'm working on a short film that is called The Other Side, and it's about a woman that's a caregiver for someone with schizophrenia.
Okay.
And she gets to experience what it's like being schizophrenic. So I like to deal with the dream world and imaginary world a lot. And so in this, she wakes up one day in her sister's shoes and has to live with schizophrenia.
Now there's two projects where someone is a caregiver. What's up with that?
I'm
What's
a caregiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a caregiver.
You're a nurturer.
No.
That's too much.
That's too much.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is it me or is that? I don't see a difference. I mean,
no.
I'm black.
I know.
No.
I'm loving, but I'm not like, no, it's more like, you have to care for people that need you, like my family, so.
Okay. This was a needs based.
Yeah, pretty,
Okay.
I guess. And the other project is I'm producing a film with LaVarro called
Fade.
Yeah. LaVarro.
Tell us about it.
Fade is about it's a guy who inherits this watch and he gains superpowers to allow him to teleport. And then such a
Come on, man.
winding story. He acquires his watch. He's able to teleport to different places. Before the watch, he was very, he had responsibility problems and showing up late to stuff, and he never like applied himself to do anything. So, this watch, he becomes this like reluctant superhero, and this child in his life is kind of pushing him to be better and be more. Everybody in his life has always been pushing him to be better and be more, and because he's like this super genius, smart person that can do great things, but he only does the bare minimum.
So what's what's the antagonist, or what's the main conflict?
There's an antagonist. The antagonist in the story is the co-creator of the watch, and he wants to use his watch to, mass produce and make money, and this is a better place for the world. And he thinks that, if you do that, it's going to be dangerous. And falls into the wrong hands, and the world will implode. So it's kind of like the gun control dynamic with that part of the story.
So what's his flaw? Does he have a family, girlfriend, or what's his
his flaw?
I mean, you know what I mean. Everybody has a weakness. What's the character's weakness?
His weakness is himself. His weakness is that he doesn't out of the fear of failure, he doesn't want to become what he can become. Become greater than he can.
Fear.
Because there's so many expectations some people expect so much for him,
Mm-hmm.
but to stop people's expectation, he doesn't even try.
Just the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And
Afraid
so
of failure. Oh wow.
yeah. So this character is it based on someone specific, or you just took from different?
Every character that I ever written are all based on people in my life.
Yeah.
Just I can only write what what's around me. So I try to be around a lot of stuff a lot of times, so I can have a wider range. But it's really just people in my life, and sometimes there's always pieces of me in every character.
Right.
That I write.
So we got an underachiever with a gift.
Yeah.
And with this gift, he's acquired a whole bunch of responsibility.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
That's how it is, right? Like sometimes when you don't want to grow, you're put in situations that are beyond your control that'll force you to
Right, exactly.
straighten up right away.
Yeah. Because sometimes we get pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you put
Exactly.
You can get comfortable in the status quo. Like your life is, it's not amazing, but it's cool.
It's doable. You're
Yeah,
good. Right, exactly. So you don't. A lot of times you're not willing to take risks.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's your comfort. It's like a comfort zone kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to that because, like growing up, I was naturally like an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like coming up, I've always been put in a situation where I have to be in front of people.
Yeah.
Through job, through shows and stuff like that. And next thing and it's like, okay, I'm so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So it becomes
but then you surrender to it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, like
but
this.
I use it. I would never thought I'd be doing
Like
that.
doing this.
Oh,
he plays the steel drums.
Oh,
So-
a drummer.
But I kept saying, I want you to be my co-host, but he wasn't actually trying to receive that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we
Try to
gradually,
no.
first of all, it's hard to tell me no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, it's been a year and a half?
Yeah, year and a half.
Yeah. And so he's my co-host and not just my steel drum player. He just comes in, he fills in the gap, sometimes when we're doing the show. So like I count on him a lot of times, but he never saw himself doing it. And I think it's hard to be around me and stay in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But
that's why I was so intrigued about, what that character. I was like, wow, this is kind of hitting weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with me with that character, I've always been in the shadows type person. I've always been a like Batman, to where I saved the day, but nobody knows that I did.
Right.
Hit it and went away.
Right.
But I kept getting put in these positions to where to lead, out front lead, and here I am.
And we fight it a lot of times when we're not sure, but I feel like you're always pushed back out there until you wake up and say, "This is where
I'm supposed to be."
Exactly.
You could avoid it. You can avoid it when you can, but sometimes necessity makes us be in these situations.
I have a story. Can I share?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I was working in corporate America, living the life. I lived in La Jolla, had a beautiful apartment by the beach.
All right.
My job was pretty relaxing, and then I remember being out there, and I would go out to the park, just be out, and people would be like, "You're supposed to be singing." Random strangers, and I'm just kind of like reading a book or something, and then they would leave, and then it kept happening, and I just wasn't listening, and that was God trying to be gentle, to be like, "You should be doing this," and I'm like, and then the next thing you know, my car engine explodes. I'm out in California by myself, and you need a car in California, so my car engine explodes. I get laid off. And it all happens like in a matter of days. And I'm like, fine, God, I get it. And I pack up, and then I, come back and start doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
It happens.
Yeah, sometimes life has to make you crash.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So the other day when I was walking in the grocery store, somebody said, "You're supposed to be a stripper."
Shut up!
You gotta lean into it. Lean into it.
Let tonight be your debut.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna throw no quarters at me.
Quarters? That's too much money.
Oh, it's too funny. Not funny.
But that happened a couple of weeks ago at karaoke. This guy got up. Oh my God, he could really, really sing.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever been there, and the women were throwing dollars at him. I mean, like a couple of them went and put the dollars in his pants, and I was like, well, are we at karaoke or a strip club? Oh, snap. And my cousin had her husband there. That was his first time there. And it's never happened. And she said, of course this will happen on the night when I bring my husband. So now he's looking like, oh, is this what y'all do every time y'all come to karaoke? I was like, no, boo. Right. That was the first time. But, I mean, things happen. So you're going to debut your routine?
Chicka bow, chicka bow, wow.
I'm sure Nick can give us some pole music.
I wouldn't mind. Don't be shy now. Come on.
I think I got a couple of dollars.
Ain't that much stepping out of my comfort zone in the world.
You gotta draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
So where can people get in touch with you?
So you can find us on Instagram at Bubbly Brown Sugar Series. That's how we met.
Yes.
Please follow and engage and like us. We're also on Facebook, Bubbly Brown Sugar. And of course, our website, bubblybrownssugar.com. You can also come see us live in New York City at our fundraising event on February 12th. We are trying to raise some additional funds to finish the project. So you can come drink with us, drink for a cause. At it's called New York City Dream Mixer. And it's a networking event for creatives in media, advertising, film, pretty much any industry. So, and tickets are only $20.
Okay. And you can get tickets at Eventbrite.
Eventbrite. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And all the information is on the website for the.
Show us some love.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, LaVarro, where can we find you next?
You can find me at LaVarro on Instagram. That's LaVarro.
Okay.
On Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. You can Google me.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I'm Googleable.
I remember a guy told me that, right? He said, if you don't know who I am, Google me.
And then
I went to Google him and I couldn't find shit.
Oh my gosh.
You can Google me for 2 weeks. Two reasons. One, I'm a big deal. Two, there's not a whole lot of people named LaVarro, so it works out.
LaVarro's kidding, guys. She's actually really sweet and humble.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, Instagram and
LaVarro
Facebook.
official?
No, it's just LaVarro. I'm not official. Okay. It's just regular old LaVarro. LaVarro.
Okay. I don't have it.
And you guys can find me. I'm Tamala Baldwin if you just want to talk to me and not my show.
Oh, I got you. Because
Got it?
the
Found
other
me?
LaVarro official was off the
Oh,
hook.
I'm
He was
spelling
somebody.
it
I'm like, who's that? Glad you put your face on there. Other guy was like,
Oh my God. That's funny. That is funny.
cool.
All right. So,
No, and also follow me, Tamala Baldwin, on everywhere.
yeah. Nikki, you had questions? You've been quiet tonight.
I know. Why are you quiet?
He's never this quiet.
No,
Never.
I'm just in the cut. I'm chilling. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
do we have any pimp slaps this week?
Oh, yeah. So introduce your
Is he
new
doing the segment? Hold on, I
Yeah.
got some music for that. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
Some Players Club shit.
Oh,
No.
snap.
It's, now, pimp slap is things that are happening in the community, in the world, that you just want to take somebody and just slap the mess out of.
Oh, boy.
Mm.
You know?
Where do we
So-
begin?
Exactly. It's been a lot of
He
material.
got music to introduce this segment of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So my pimp slap
Okay, let's hear it.
goes out to the federal government.
Mm.
With this government shutdown, you got soldiers not getting paid
Yeah.
during holiday season. You got people may not get their tax returns.
Right.
And it's
Contractors.
it's a lot of people on furlough, and it's so funny because the last time we had a government shutdown was because $4 billion for healthcare was too much, but now we want $5 billion for a wall. So my pimp slap goes out to the politicians, Democrat and Republicans, who caused the government shutdown. And you got people, good, hardworking people out there, contractors as well, who aren't getting paid during holiday time.
And with this wall, because I've been watching where they want to build the wall, these are property owners that have prominent businesses that are now suing the government because the government wants to take their land.
Really?
And they have a very strong case against the government.
Let me tell you something. There ain't no way within the next 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, this wall would ever be built. He's not trying to have it built. It's a distraction. It's a distraction, and it's a way to divide his base and fuel his base and to divide the people from coming into something. He just, even if they started and they agreeing on it, he will cause something to make it stop.
Of course, yeah.
Because it's a, and I think people think that he's a dope, but I think Donald Trump is a smart man, very smart man, because what he's trying to do. It's funny because in the beginning of the day, he tweets something. So from that day, he controls the narrative. So I don't want to really get into politics. I just want to slap them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's my pimp slap goes out to, you know.
Well, I mean, you spend a lot of time talking about the wall to kind of distract people about us pulling out of Syria and Afghanistan. That's not our mission. That's more or less Putin's mission, you know.
So who would you like to pimp slap this week?
Who would I like to pimp slap? I'd like to pimp slap R. Kelly. I'd like to stomp that motherfucker to the ground. You know what I'm saying? First of all these women out here, and you got to take advantage of young girls, you know. But not only do I want to pimp slap him, I want to pimp slap the
enablers, his handlers.
Exactly, because he has a problem and no one's getting the man help. And then the parents of some of these young ladies. I think there's no amount of money that you could pay after you destroyed my child's life. You know, it's like you're saying, okay, I'll take this money. She'll be all right. But are you really getting those women help? You know what I'm saying? I think that is a travesty. And the fact that he's been doing it for so long and has never been criminally prosecuted, that in itself is a travesty. I feel like in our community, we put these people on such a pedestal and forget that, yeah, they may be a star, but they're human. And we have to hold them accountable. You know, so I really have a problem with that.
So R. Kelly, you get another pimp slap.
He doesn't get a pimp slap. He gets fucking stomped.
Yeah.
He gets his dick slit.
He gets a beat down.
So that's mine. So we gotta take it to our guest. Who would you like to pimp slap?
To piggyback on R. Kelly, I would want to pimp slap the people that are saying that the girls, even though they're teenagers, they know what they're doing, they're fast.
Yeah.
And they're not totally innocent. That whole narrative, I think, needs to stop because, again, they're children.
Exactly.
Do you think
You're the grown-up.
Do you think it made a difference that these ladies were brown?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
That people are saying that, or that it hasn't gone checked?
Well, that the fact that if it
was a Caucasian women, yeah, exactly.
But the thing about it, not all of them were girls. A lot of these, I mean, look what he did with his wife.
Yeah.
I think, and it's funny because a predator like that, it wasn't an age. Well, he did like his young girls, but it was a personality type that he went after.
Yeah.
Because he took some strong, confident women and turned them into, knocking on the door so you could come outside to get something to eat, and you don't hear, and it's like, you didn't hear too much about the physical abuse.
Yeah.
As much as he had that mind thing on people where, and it didn't start, it doesn't start right away. It's a gradual thing where they isolate you and then they work on your self-esteem. And then you as a woman feeling that you aren't worth
And then how much of it was that they were caught up in his superstardom?
Yeah.
I think when you start looking at people like him, you look at the Charlie Sheens, the Bill Cosbys, these people have been able to get away with this shit for such a long time.
Yeah. Gary Coleman.
What Gary Coleman?
Oh, I'm just saying.
Okay, because I kind of like
Woody Allen.
fuck me up with that, you know.
He did.
He couldn't
did
get
beat
on
the
no
woman.
roller coasters.
He did beat a woman up though.
All she had to do was pluck his little ass.
Him and Webster never rode a roller coaster together.
So who would you like to pencil?
I could go. I mean, let's stick with R. Kelly. To the people who are posting and and defending R. Kelly with other people that are doing it too, like Hugh Hefner did it, and such and such did it. You're just naming more people who are doing bad things.
Exactly.
That's not excusing
R.
Kelly from what he's doing. Like it's all terrible. Even because there's people that are saying that, oh, when I was in high school, the older people used to come up to the high school and get they was trash too. They were bad too.
Exactly.
So
and it's so funny because a lot of songs make reference. I mean, when you really think about it, a lot of songs make reference to teenage girls. And I remember, I think it was LL Cool J back, I think it was third or fourth album.
Not LL.
Yeah, he made it was like, I think it was Big Old Butt. He was like cruising by the high school, da 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 da. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true.
But it was part of that culture. You know, where he was doing the same thing. I mean, she cruising my high school. Or I got girls in high school, and I'm like, boy.
But that did happen. Like I remember being in 6th grade at the time, and I went to school, performing arts school, 6th grade, and a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, we met these guys that are 30-year-olds, they're doormen. We're gonna go see them. You want to come?" And I'm like, 30?
Right. I want to go with the old exactly. Right.
I was like, to do what? I was like, no. And I remember them trying to pressure me to go, and I was like, no, I'm good. But eventually they kept seeing them, and they eventually had sex with these men. And in 6th grade, I didn't get they're pedophiles. You know, I just assumed that it was like they're old. I'm not gonna go hang out with strange men when I'm 12 years old. But
it's
everywhere.
Crazy.
It's everywhere.
It's crazy. And then now you got a lot of the celebrities like, oh, R. Kelly's this, but you motherfuckers knew that back in the day, and now y'all want to come out and bash the man. Why didn't y'all do something when you knew about it early on?
But the thing is, we all knew. Like we all knew the Aaliyah stuff. We all saw we don't know if we all saw the P tapes, but we all saw the stuff. And I bought the Chocolate Factory. I was stepping in the name of love.
Yeah,
I was doing all that stuff. So
we all guilty.
We all guilty, and the and complicit in what he's doing, what he's been doing for the past 30 years, because he was doing it
for a long time,
since before he was R. Kelly, before you knew who he was. It's from the very beginning. So I can take my part in that. My issue is like what you were saying is people who are around him, the people who are going to the malls and getting these girls, the people who are on the documentary.
That's who I want to slap the shit out of.
Exactly.
Like there's this one guy in the documentary that was saying, "Oh yeah, I saw him with some young girls, and man, I knew this was something I want to be a part of."
Yeah.
And then later he was telling another story. Like, wait a minute, you don't want to be a part of it. Why do you have so many stories?
Exactly. And I picked up on that too when you say something like, yeah, he was doing that. I said, man, I want to avoid it. I ain't want to be a part of it. I'm like, you're complicit.
Yeah.
You're complicit. And it's but the thing about it, because like I said, I bought his greatest hits at the time, and I knew about it, but I'm questioning myself. I'm like, why wasn't I outraged?
I think we all are. Yeah.
Where was Jet
I think
Magazine?
we all are.
I think we were also in denial a little bit. Like I remember watching the video of the girl. And
then he peed on her.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, maybe she's not really. We were debating she may not be 16 or whatever. We were like, you know,
she was younger than 16.
14.
She's 14.
That was Sparkle's niece, right?
Oh, that was okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think somebody should have beat the shit out of him. That's what I'm saying. That's who I want to slap the shit out of. All the real men around him that knew that shit. Should have beat the shit out of him.
Exactly. Exactly.
Especially when he went to jail, he should have got the shit beat out of him.
Right.
I mean, it's no excuses.
I forgot he went to jail. I haven't watched that.
Yeah, he only stayed there like
it wasn't
that.
Yeah. He posted bail. But that's the thing about it. Like, but he, time and time again, this man reinvented himself. He went from singing.
He made his best shit. So I'm waiting to see what hits he come out with now.
You know,
but then he's talking about filing a lawsuit against the women, telling the story. Man. But good luck with that, you know.
But now you think back, all them songs like "You Are Not Alone," wrote that for Michael Jackson, and that was the subject. What inspired him was one of those girls having an abortion.
Yeah,
you know.
Really?
Yeah, that was about a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, he got pregnant.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never
the Mexican, the Puerto Rican.
Yeah, this is the Jimena. Yeah. She was a brown girl.
Okay.
You know, and it's like, and then the same, and then one of his most inspirational song, "What the Storm Is Over." You know, that's a beautiful song. And next thing, and then after that, you singing, you know, "Throw Your Thong." You know, crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah. And it's,
man had some hits. I'm not that.
And he wrote all that. And that's the thing about it. He wrote all that. So but they say he's worth less than $1 million now.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So
wow.
So I think he ain't gonna feel it until it hits him financially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a bum.
And then, but is anybody? I mean, even with all of that, is anybody gonna help the man? You know, get the man some help, because obviously he has some issues. Because I think nobody's talking about that. The man needs help.
I think sometimes people have to want help. You know, so
yeah.
I'm sure he has had people be like, "Hey, man, you should go." But I don't think that you can't see it.
I can't see him rebounding from this.
Yeah,
I can't see that because ain't no way nobody's gonna touch him with this much power.
It's just he can't. Him not wanting help is because he's been doing this for 30 years.
Exactly.
There's nothing. There's been no consequences.
Oh, right.
There's nothing that's saying that I shouldn't do this.
Who do you think molested him?
Him? I don't know.
Him and his brother, because they said it was a family.
It was a family member.
And,
I think it could have been an aunt. Might have been the mom.
Somebody's. Well,
I don't think
she died when he was young, right?
I saw that thing. I saw that thing where he's talking about he took a lipstick. He was she would drink. She would taste his hot chocolate, and she would leave a lipstick and ring around it, and he would take the lipstick. He would drink from the side where her lipstick was. I can't make this up.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and people like.
Well, you know what? It could have been the older sister. They never talked about the older sister.
Right. But he said one of the girls revealed, well, the one that was 30 years old, she said because she was abused, and she said they had something common. That's how they connected. And it could have been a lie, but he said that a man, somebody from the neighborhood, who was a man, abused him and his brother, and somebody used to watch him. You know, but it's funny because when his younger brother was abused too, and when he went to R. Kelly said, "No, man, that ain't happened." You know, and he said, and it's funny because he said, what would have happened if R. Kelly would have admitted it, and then they would have went to their mom? You know, that could have probably changed his whole narrative of his life if they were able to do something at that point.
And the whole
when he was 14,
and the whole dynamic of R&B music would be completely different. Imagine it if when they caught him with Aaliyah, the changes, how R&B music would be, the landscape would be completely different.
What will he be singing about?
Right.
You know, no more mind telling me no, body's telling me yes. I mean, I don't know, man. But it's like either way, it was painful for me to watch.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah. I mean, he does. Like you said, he deserves pimp slap. His handlers, his enablers, record companies who supported him, and even the police.
That
absolutely. Used to give him a heads up when they was when his studio was being raided. Chicago, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Big city like that. So.
Looks like they gave him the green light to continue.
Yeah, I still think the government should get this pimp slap, though. I mean,
should the government or should just the president?
No, I think we should hold Democrats accountable too, man. I mean, anytime there's a shutdown, I think it's a thing on both sides.
Yeah, but to ask for a substantial amount of money to build a wall that.
Why you vote for him, Jackie?
I did not. Don't say it. Say it ain't so. I did not. I never liked him. I never liked him.
The funniest thing about that wall to me is the whole time he was campaigning, it wasn't we're going to build a wall. It was we're going to build a wall and Mexico's going to come. I know.
Yeah. Exactly.
And everybody was like, yeah.
Right.
And he hasn't said anything about.
Oh yeah, he changed. Then he was like, well, we're going to build a wall. They're going to pay us back. That was like,
Mexico was never going to pay for the wall.
Now it's like, I'm gonna shut down the government if you don't give me money for this wall.
Right, exactly. A wall that you said Mexico was going to pay for.
Yeah. So he done did the whole flip the script. And the thing about it is, he's lying about stuff that can easily be verified that you on tape saying. I'm like, man, he needs help.
Yeah,
and he's a bully.
And it's so funny because I got a lot of family members out of the abroad in the Caribbean and England, and they be texting me like, Rick, what's going on? I was like, they text me about two things: The Wire.
They still think Trump. That's happening. The Wire.
The Wire and Trump. You from Baltimore? You that's what The Wire. I was like, look, man,
that's been over with for years. So.
And the whole city ain't The Wire. So they text me about Trump all the time, and it's an embarrassment at the point. Yeah. Because they look
we're the laughing stock.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You had something to say, LaVarro?
I was gonna slap myself again on something.
Okay.
Because I hadn't watched Game of Thrones.
Me neither. I still haven't. So don't give any spoilers away right now.
No spoilers, but I watched the first five episodes of Game of Thrones like years ago, and I said, this is like, I'm not watching this. This is dumb. And then, but people keep every time I talk to them like, what? You haven't seen it? What? So I am now on episode. This was, and I decided that okay, fine, I'll watch it. I'll try it again. I am in like season 5 now.
Yeah.
And it's this Game of Thrones is shit.
It's shit. Oh Lord, now you're gonna make me go home and binge watch.
Yeah, like get into it.
Yeah.
Is it better than The Walking Dead?
I don't watch Walking Dead.
I didn't get into Walking Dead.
Yeah, I stopped at the season 5. I'm like, man, they never get in Washington.
You gave up on them.
But Game of Thrones is deep because they talk that's another well-written differently.
Yeah.
Not every, just like The Wire, it's just like Game of Thrones. Not every character is completely good. Not everyone is completely bad.
Yeah.
And Jamie Lannister was the worst person in the world. And then you find yourself rooting for him.
Right.
And then they made references in season 1 that they picked up in season 7 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just watch it, man. Text me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank our guest, Tamala Baldwin.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And LaVarro, he's so important, y'all. He just got one.
I know.
Name.
Google him.
Google him if you don't understand. We really appreciate you guys coming and hang out with us. We hope to have you back again before the show actually debuts.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sure. Thank you for our callers.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you for our
Deacon Jones,
Dr. Love,
Reverend Dixon Downs.
Oh God, did he call in too?
You guys are officially invited to our red carpet event. Just let you know if you want to, screen it or cover it, or just attend it. Let me know.
We'll be there February 12th. Let me know. The mixer.
Oh, okay, great. Yay.
So we got to support each other. I mean, that's what it's all about. I got a platform like this. It's an opportunity for me to help expose other people. So I take that very seriously. So
before we go, though, can I ask the guys one more question?
Yeah.
With all that was been said today, how do you define intimacy? Just to refresh my mind.
How do you define it? Oh.
Beating the shit out of R. Kelly.
Intimacy?
We didn't say kinky shit.
I know.
Intimacy.
I still stand to say mental connection. Physical isn't the primary, but it's that mental connection that you have with somebody where you're in a room full of people and y'all feel like y'all the only two people in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry, LaVarro. Do you want to go? I have another question too, so you can answer both.
Okay.
What's the last intimate thing you've done with a woman?
I love that. Nick smoke coming out. Nick did. As he over there said, "Damn, she fucked me up with that one."
Well, I'm gonna answer the first question.
It's a trick
If we can
question.
go back around. I'm gonna answer the first question. If we can go back around. To me, intimacy is opening yourself up and letting a person in, and that person doing the same thing, and that could be mentally, physically, spiritually. It's like really connecting with a person on multiple levels.
Okay.
Dope.
Wow, so the last intimate thing, and I'm trying to think.
You want me to go fast?
Yeah.
Every time I tell her I love her.
Aww. How you tell her that you love her?
Hey, baby, I love you.
But that before or after sex?
Before.
Okay.
All day.
Aww.
That's sweet.
You told her today that you love her?
All the time.
Oh, nice.
That's sweet. Yeah. You still think?
Yeah, no, because I'm thinking about because I've been by myself for like 2 weeks now.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's just everybody's visiting gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but I think because my love language is the deeds and actions.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I'm looking at I'm stumped.
You went to check on her parents.
Oh,
that was an intimate act.
Yeah. Over the weekend, her parents were in a car accident.
Oh my.
In North Carolina.
Wow.
So
you drove to North Carolina?
Well, I didn't drive. I kind of checked on them because they came back to the emergency room, and I checked on them because she's in LA right now, and I had to, give them peace of mind and let them, check on them while she was going.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Is she still in LA?
Yeah, she's still in LA.
Wow. She gonna lay it on you when you get back.
Yeah, they were gone for the holiday. Her and the girl, so it's just me and my.
She gonna have his leg up in the air.
Like, gonna be twitching like, oh girl, okay.
You understand me.
For me, it was. So I just got back from Hawaii for New Year's. We went to Hawaii for New Year's.
Okay.
And in Hawaii.
Aww. I'm jealous.
This was the last intimate thing, but this was like it was a big deal for me. So we went to in Hawaii. There's this very, very steep like hill or trail or whatever it is that you walk down, and at the bottom of it, it's like 2.1 miles down, and at the bottom of it is this black sand beach. Beautiful, nice place.
Okay.
It was great. Now walking down the hill is my legs hurt from walking down the hill.
Okay.
So if this is flat, this is about how the hill was, and it's 2 miles long. And now the whole time I'm walking down this hill, I know that we're gonna have to walk back up this hill. And my legs are hurting walking down the hill. I don't want to do this at all.
So he called her an Uber.
Gotta lift.
Oh my God.
Just to be clear, I can walk with the best of them. I live in New York, but this isn't it. This is not what I want to do.
Yeah, that's the devil. That's the devil.
But she wanted to go down this hill. She wanted to see this waterfall. She wanted to do all that stuff. So that was my intimate thing, was walking down this hill and laboring back up. It was like one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. But it made her smile, it made her happy. And
was she able to do it with no problem?
Yeah, she had no problem. She was stopping and taking videos of herself. Like there's a video of her like saying, "This is us walking up the hill." And I'm like, I don't want to be in this video.
You had an attitude.
I had an attitude, but I walked up that hill.
Right. You took one for the team.
Yeah, I took one for the team. So
I want to see this video so bad.
You're gonna keep bugging them now.
I know. Let me see the video.
Yeah, you can't let them show. You can't show weakness. Man.
Lord, whatever.
Like
Joshua blowing the water, man.
Was it hot too?
Yeah, it was hot. It was Hawaii. It was Hawaii. It was hot. And other people drove down this hill. So there's cars like flying by me.
They already knew what time it was, right?
and nobody's helping me. Like they see me struggling with this little stick, trying to climb this hill.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Rough,
That's hilarious.
Then you see Hades in the river Styx down there, the opening to the underworld.
It's rough.
Too
funny.
All right. Oh yeah. Quick announcement: the 21st of the month, we'll have our financial segment with Donna Stevenson.
Always a good show.
She's going to do that once a month, because if we're talking about intimacy, we have to be able to give couples financial literacy as well. So
nice. Financial intimacy.
That's
important.
Exactly. So look forward to that.
Finance could be a stressor in a relationship.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I thank everybody for joining us tonight. We will see you all next Monday. Definitely tune in next Monday. I'm going to be giving away a 3-day, 2-night trip to one lucky caller. So
OMG, I'm calling in. I don't even care to wear. I'm calling in.
I'll post the rules of the contest. Yeah. But I'm gonna try to do that leading up to Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Would you say 1 night, 3 days?
On that note, this is why we call him the Quiet Storm. Good night, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. That was awesome.
Let's see.